me, Patchdown Bogad. Here I am today making yet another video. This one is going to be about astral projection. And I figured this would be a good one, a good topic to discover and to unravel and then talk about. And the reason being is that when I do astral projection, it's very interesting that way before I even started this video, I saw myself coming outside of myself by the steps that I'm about to teach you today. I use that pattern, that method, and hopefully it could basically help you. And I have to tell you, it's quite a very liberating experience. It's like, if you're like myself, where you look up in the sky, you see these birds flying, and you ever wondered what it was like to be that bird. Well, that's what it's like astral projecting yourself. That's like coming out of yourself, seeing your visual self or your physical self, and then you're just leaving. And like I said before, I even made this video to make sure that I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm sharing this information with you. I practiced it so that I don't come off as if I'm explaining something that I don't know anything about. Because like most of you, you're probably, let's say you're one of those individuals, you fall in that category where you haven't really experienced astral projecting or astral travel, and you're kind of just caught up in between. It's like you like to believe it, but you never tried, or the methods that you perhaps used, it just wasn't good enough for you. Now, hopefully, mines do work. It's just another, I guess, magical system or magical method that you could add to your repertoire, if you will, and see if it works for you. If not, you know what? In all fairness, there could be some other site, or it could be like some other person where they could actually explain it a lot more better than I myself, and that's a good thing because that means at least you're learning, and you want to learn in order, for you could better yourself, or at least in your magical practices, right? So let's get started. First of all, what helps me, and mind you, this is my personal method. What helps me in actually doing the astral projecting, astral traveling, is I always try to picture myself. Um, well, not in fact. Let me just go back. I like to lay down on this couch behind me, right? And I get into a very deep meditative state. Now, for those who do not, and I mean absolutely do not know what it's like to get into the meditative state of a trance, do not worry. I make another video about that and how to get into one. But this one's about astral projecting, astral traveling, right? So we get into that meditative state, and once you feel comfortable enough and you're able to actually leave your body, that's pretty much, I guess, a good indicator, a good starter is that you are about ready to basically, well, astral travel. Like, for example, once you are within that state of a trance, right, you're going to visualize your astral arm, your left arm, leaving your physical body, right? And then slowly you're going to also visualize your right arm leaving the right side of the hemisphere of your body. Then as you're doing that, you're going to see your astral self getting out of yourself, and you're doing this while you're in a deep trance. And take it slow, but visualize yourself. And remember, practice makes perfect. Just because you're not going to get the results right away, practice, practice, practice. All right? So if it doesn't work, continue to do that. That's why you have to learn to imagine it. Because remember, thoughts create your reality, and it's power behind your thoughts, right? So imagine, have your left and your right astral self get out of your body, right? And as you're doing that, you're going to try to take your left arm and your right arm. This is the astral left and right arm, and try to touch it. And I do that only because as I'm visualizing this helps me to appreciate, like, it's not just myself, even though it is, but those who are experienced with astral projector, they know what I'm talking about when it comes to you actually leaving your body. It's the same sense as in the same sense and the same feeling when you get the feel. Not try to, you can't all the time let's say, depend on what you see, because that could be somewhat of a hamper to what you're doing. In other words, it could halt the whole entire process. So you have to feel what you're doing, if that makes sense. You see, and if I could just pause there for a second and try to make sense of it, I could use another magical, let's say, method, and I kind of allude to it earlier. It's like when you feel energy. You don't want to see energy. You want to feel it. So if you feel it in your left arm, you want to make the practice of also directing that energy into your right arm. So of course your chakras have to be aligned, because that's where the energy comes from, in order to really direct it. So if your chakras are not aligned correctly and they're not open, then the likelihood of you actually directing your energy could be off, right? So that's why sometimes you could have a person saying, hey, look, the energy is only on my left side, or it's only on my right side. Well, if you align your chakras the correct way, then that wouldn't be a problem. Well, it's the same sense when it comes to astral projecting. When you get out of that trance and you are visualizing and you feel, you see, right, the astral arm coming out, and then you have the right astral arm coming out of your body, and then they touch one another, right? And then you slowly and gradually get yourself out of it. You're still visualizing nonetheless. That's why the other magical method, it's really all about feeling it. But in the trance, in the one that I'm explaining, you still want to visualize it, because it is all about visualizing. But to help you further, you also want to feel, yourself getting out of your body if you can. And then from there, as you find yourself getting out, you're going to have your leg and your foot get out of your body. And what works for me is that as I see myself looking at myself laying on this couch right over here, I can visualize myself in whatever position I am. Obviously, I'm laying down, so perhaps my hands is on my chest, or it's just dangling off the couch, whatever it may be. But I'm able to look down at myself, and I'm able to see that. And then perhaps even from there, you may want to go do some traveling. Now, though that may be a little bit more advanced to some, but I would like to leave it there, so that at least like when you look down at yourself, at least for sure, like as you do that, you could basically get a good overlay on what astral projecting is, or even astral traveling. Because once you see yourself outside of yourself, at least you know that you prove to yourself like this is something that you can actually physically do, even though it's on the astral. But now let's say you want to go ahead and travel. Like I said, it can be advanced to certain people, but still, imagine yourself floating. See yourself floating above your physical body, or even going somewhere else in a different room, and you want to concentrate on being there. And the key word is concentrate in being there, right? And you want to do that. So you want to just focus on that for a while, and you want to pretty much get the hang of that. Practice, 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 and continue to do that. Have that be like a flow of thinking, a flow of energy, something that you want to make a practice of, because the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And each and every day, it doesn't have to be a full-on travel, a full-on astral projecting travel where you're just going all over the world and things of that nature. Try it to places that you have been, perhaps your room, perhaps the kitchen, somewhere within your facility, and really concentrate in doing that. And once you're able to do that, you're going to pretty much get a little bit better at that. Now, a lot of people may find that to be pretty much hard to believe, and that's okay too, because the way I see it, it's like science and the occult or witchcraft, they have a lot to do with each other. They should complement each other, but due to centuries of churches and government involvement and actually getting rid of, let's say, the information, the esoteric information like astral travel and the like, a lot of it could be destroyed and or taken away from the populace like ourselves. Or because think of it this way, if you knew beforehand without them destroying such ancient knowledge, well, obviously we wouldn't be making this video. But because it has been taken away, and we have people like myself and others that could put it on websites, make videos about it. We are really trying to help each other in this small community so that we could better ourselves. Because once all this knowledge is taken away, it's like, you know, it's the extreme of injustice. You know what I mean? And that's something that's like, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that, meaning like you're just so against the very idea of the possibility of astral travel that you could just miss out on a part of your life that you could have been doing otherwise. So please, those are my steps, and if you want, let's do a recap or a summary. So let's do this. Number one, you want to lie down in your bed. You want to go into a light trance or even deep trance if you have to. Relax. Then you want to feel like you're floating, right? That's number one. Number two, now you want to lift your right astral arm, and then you want to visualize also or imagine your right astral arm lifting out of your self or your physical body. And then if you want to, you could also have your arms touch each other. Number three, you want to do the same for your legs and then the rest of your body as you slowly get out of your body, and then you just float above yourself, and then you really want to see yourself, visualize yourself floating there, and then also looking down upon your physical self. And then lastly, you want to concentrate in perhaps a small area like within your apartment or your house, and you want to concentrate to that particular room and try to visualize and see through your astral self you going into that room, your kitchen, your bathroom, or whatever have you. And once you continue to do that, sorry my speech here, but once you continue to do that, you're going to benefit. And I guarantee you, once you continue to do those steps, you could go ahead and you could pretty much be a better adept at it. Now, if you want more information about it, I'm reading here from my laptop here on astral projection by Robert Bruce. And he wrote a good article, a good book about astral projection. That's where I get my information from, and I'm sharing that also with you. So if you give any credence to what I'm saying, like I said, look up Robert Bruce on astral projection, and you're going to see the information there. And as always, friends, if you like my video, please subscribe and smash that like button. Thank you all. Bye.